Well, hello there, and welcome to episode number 200. Can you believe it's 200? On the Online Trainers Podcast, today's topic is the 3 key pillars to success.
Hello and welcome to the Online Trainers Podcast, where we go behind the scenes to uncover the latest tactics and strategies top trainers around the world are using to get more clients, dominate their marketplace, and get their clients amazing results. There is absolutely no fluff here. I'm your host, Lynn Trin.
I cannot believe I've been ranting on for 200 episodes. I'd love to be more consistent with this, but I'm going to tell you what's been happening inside of my life and more importantly, kind of our team. We've transitioned into a bigger office here inside of Richmond. I think it's about 400 square meters, which is about 4,000 square feet approximately. I don't know what I'm doing with 4,000 square feet with a team of 8 people at the moment. But with that being said, remember what I've always taught you on the podcast episode is to call your shots and then to fulfill. So the reasons why I moved out to get a 4,000 square foot or a 360 square meter office is simply because I want to grow a team. I want to build legacy. I want to build an empire. And more importantly, I want to show you kind of the journey along the way. So this is an important podcast episode because what am I? We are August the 21st here, and I'm about a month away from getting married. I am also a month away from moving into my new place, which is going to be cool. And I want to definitely show you. But more importantly here, what I've learned along the way after personally coaching over 100 people from zero and getting them started with their online businesses as experts. So I've learned the 3 key pillars to success. And this isn't your stock standard 3 key pillars. This is like your all-in key 3 pillars. I think I said that right. Key 3 pillars to success. And I want you to write this down, or I want you to think about this very, very carefully, okay? And it's something called BRD. Now, BRD stands for number 1. B stands for belief. If you don't believe that you can succeed, guess what? You're not going to succeed. You know, for a long time when I started out, I don't believe I had belief in what I was doing. And this is where a lot of people go wrong along the journey, that they don't believe or they don't see the vision for themselves. There is no vision. There is no sense of belief. There is no sense of purpose. And if you're stuck, I want you to understand that I was completely stuck as well, and it's okay. But here's the reality. You're stuck because you're sitting on your ass and you're doing nothing. You're stuck because you don't want to do something because you're scared that if it's the wrong thing, you're going to fail and people are going to laugh at you. You're stuck because I don't know why you're stuck. Maybe you just don't want to do it until you find the right thing. Now, belief is really, really important, more so than ever. What I've learned after coaching 100 people is that I can help people, and that reinforced our belief to grow. That reinforced my team's belief. That reinforced my belief. And more importantly, we're on more fire than ever right now at this very moment in time. And so I want to share this with you because when you start out, 0 to anything is the hardest thing possible because there is no belief there. There is no vision. You might have an idea, but that idea needs to be validated. So you validate it by taking action. And I promise you, this is one of the most important key pillars that I figured out along the way. And we sat there and I sat down with my coach, Jordan, and I said, okay, what's the 3 biggest key areas that they need to focus on? The first is their belief. Our clients need to believe that they can achieve this goal. But more importantly, if you're sitting here and you're listening to this podcast episode, you need to believe that you can attain whatever it is that you want to attain. You need to believe that it is you can feel it inside of your hands. You can grasp it. Because if you don't believe it, guess what? You're not going to do it. If you don't do it, guess what? Or even if you do it, you're going to do it with very little action. Very little action. Very little action or poor action leads to poor results. Poor results just reinforces that sense of belief and it drags you down. Belief, very, very important. If you believe that you can do it, you can do it. My key question to you today is, what do you believe that you can do? Or what's that negative self-talk that you're saying inside of your mind that you can't do it? And is it time that you change that belief? Is it time that you hang out with people that are, I suppose, in a better situation than you are? Are you modeling people? Are you changing your environment so that the environment brings in positive energy, positive belief? Or are you the smartest person in your environment? The second thing stands for, from BRD, B stands for belief, R stands for relentlessness. Okay, now what I've learned inside of business over the last year is that, hey, my business has definitely not been a straight line. It looks like that on the outside. You might look out, you might go, Lynn, if you've got a pretty good business, you're Lynn, you can do whatever the hell you want. And I sat in your shoes a few years ago and I sat there and I said, hey, and I looked up to other people and I said, well, you're that person. You can do whatever the hell you want. I'm just me. And what I learned inside of business is that you need to be relentless in order to achieve your goal. Now, if you have a belief, if you have a vision, you need to be relentless, because sometimes, and in fact, actually not sometimes, 100% of the time, your expectation of how it's supposed to be, of how your business should run, of how things are meant to be, that strategy that you deployed, whether it's a challenge, whether it's a webinar, whether, you put out your first lead magnet, whether you put out a Facebook Live, it will never, ever be the same as how you envisioned it. And what I mean by that is, a lot of the times, I give people a strategy and they try it. And remember, because they don't have a lot of belief, guess what? They try it, but then they try it kind of half-assed. And then they try and they go, Lynn, I tried and I failed and it didn't work. And I'm like, well, that's because, number one, you probably didn't believe it. Number two, you weren't fucking relentless. You need to be relentless to get to your goals. You need to go and say, hey, if I need to get 50 clients this week, or I need to build out this system, or I need to hire staff, you need to throw everything at that thing to get it lit up in the most smartest, most efficient, most possible, effective manner. What I've found with this is people are not relentless. They are not resourceful, right? Relentless and resourceful is the same thing. They will give up. And they will not get resourceful. They will not be relentless to hit their goals. And by a way of thinking about it, they will fail. We've got one, we've got B. We've got relentless and resourcefulness, which is the R. I'm going to give you two there. There might be 4 key pillars, but relentless and resourcefulness is very, very similar. If you are relentless, you are resourceful, because you won't ever stop. And the next thing, the D, this is a very big one. I didn't mean it for it to come out that way, but this is a very big one. Domination. You have to think inside of your micro community, inside of your marketplace, how can you dominate? Not just get by, but how can you get by and dominate? How can your competitors look inside of your marketplace and go, you know what, I'm going to give up? Nah, because here's the reality. We're all human. And what you realize is you do not see, right? You do not see the vision from anyone else's point of view. You see the vision from yours. And so when you're looking at yourself, you have all these thoughts, you have all these ideas. You look at competitors and go, fuck, I'm not going to even tackle that. I want you to be dominating inside of your marketplace so that your competitors look at you and go, fuck, I'm not even going to deal with that. But here's the reality. In order to dominate, you cannot think about what other people are doing. In order to dominate, you need to sit down inside of your own mind, inside of your own workspace and go, right, what is my roadmap? What is my roadmap to dominate? What do I need to do to compound? Not just add in, but compound. You might be writing an email daily, and then great, you might compound that with a podcast if you like. Great, you might compound that with Facebook Lives. Great, you might do video. Great, you might start a vlog. But you're compounding things and you're solidifying things in order for you to grow. Now, if you have belief, you have resourcefulness and relentlessness, and you dominate, I promise you, those are the 3 keys to your success, or your 4, right? But R and R is very, very similar. So I want to share this with you because I know a lot of you guys might be listening to this and might go, Lynn, well, I'm just a personal trainer inside the gym. That's all I do. I just want to go to the gym, train people, I like listening to your shit inside of the car. I get that. I was in the gym as well. I was tired as well. I was waking up at 5 as well, going to boot camps, getting cancelled on, right? Having 3 sessions a day when I thought I had a full book, and then to come home at 9 to watch Game of Thrones and do it all over again, and then have this idea. But here's the reality. Your idea does not mean jack shit if you do not take any action on it. If you do not have belief, right, relentlessness and resourcefulness, and you don't have that mindset to dominate, you're going to struggle. Because everyone else is doing that same struggle as well. And guess what? You're just going to go in and you're just going to become another person inside of the marketplace, saturating the marketplace. The reason I want to share this with you, if you write this down, belief, resourcefulness, relentlessness, and dominate, and you think about and you take action with those 3 things every single day, guess what? I promise you, it might seem really, 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 really hard at a micro level because inside of your business, you're like, well, I'm not even moving a centimeter forward. But guess what? You show up every single day like that, it's going to change the game for you. It's going to change the game. So I wanted to share this with you because I believe the 3 key pillars are key pillars to your success. Resourcefulness. If your plan doesn't work the first time, guess what? Try again. Try something else. Be resourceful. Try something else. Because being resourceful means that your expectations of how it should be doesn't matter. It doesn't matter of how you think how it should be. What matters is how it is. So from this episode, guys and girls, I just really want to more importantly inspire you, but show you that this is my own journey that I'm talking through, right? This is my own journey from being a solopreneur, making $1 million, going out, moving out of my house into a small office, moving from a small office into a bigger office, hiring people. It's all the same, one and the same thing. If you want to grow a business, guess what? If you want to dominate, you need staff. If you want to dominate, you need staff. Because as much as you can do by yourself, guess what? There is a limit. You are limited by time. You are limited by energy. This is the thing that I learned. I just thought, well, I just love working by myself, right? That's great. You get to $1 million. And then once you get to $1 million, you'll be like, okay, cool. What else is out there? What else is next? What are you serving? Who are you serving? What's your purpose? What's your belief? Right? What do you believe you can do next? So I want to leave you that. I hope it really inspires you, or not even just inspires you, but it triggers something inside of your brain. Because if I know that, me 2.5, 3 years ago, if I had listened to this, it might have triggered something. Maybe not. I might have to go at a different angle. But with that being said, we are 200 episodes in. More importantly, moving forward on a change. We're doing a bit of a shift. And so we're trying to shift. We're beginning that shift on something very, very special. More importantly, we are opening up the horizons, just not to health and fitness coaches, because there's only so many health and fitness coaches I can help, but really moving out to experts and coaches across the board, because the systems, the processes for any expert, it's very much one and the same. Enjoy your day. Reach out to me if you have any questions. Just let me know how you're going. If you've been listening to the podcast at the very start, I'd love to hear how your journey has been, how it's helped you. Just send me a message on Facebook and just go, yo, hey, I've listened here. This is where I was. This is where I am going. I'd super, super appreciate that. That would rock my day. Have a great one. And of course, I will see you moving forward on the next episode.
All right. If you enjoyed this podcast, please leave me a 5-star review on iTunes, and feel free to leave a review. And that way I can respond and I can take that on board in developing content to serve you. Now, if you're not a part of the Online Trainers Club on Facebook, please do yourself a favor and be a part of the conversation. That's where I add daily tips, tricks, and strategies on how you can build out funnels, how you can get more clients, and ultimately become a better online coach. Thank you for listening.